Hi guys, I'm Bush Whatever here, back with another video. And for today, I'll be doing a new part of What If Deku was in Food Wars. Well, I hope you enjoyed this part and be surprised for what I'm going to do and just imagine this for the future. Everything I will do for now is going to affect the future for these series, sorry. So, with that out of the way, let's begin the story. So, we last left off when Izuku made karage. Karage is, as you may know, it's chicken, fried chicken basically. And they went on a date with Rina, or should I say Erina Nakari. And now today is they went back to the dorms and go to actually the announcement of false the false false classic tournament, yeah, or the false selection, should I say. And they go to the main campus and look for the bulletin board, and there was a bulletin board and there was a veil for it so that they would be surprised of what they were, who was going to compete and stuff. And this is gonna be 30 people on a of on the A block, 30 people, B block, 30 people, and so in the first in the when the veil was removed, the thing that happened is that we could see Megumin, Izuku Midoriya's name, Katsuki Bakugo, Meat, who else? Who else? Takumi's name and stuff, and so on. Which was actually surprising. Not really that surprising, to be honest. So, yeah. So, everything still happened the same in canon. That the announcement of the announcement and number 9 see about the reasons that they were chosen and stuff. So yeah, which they had to make a dish, use the years in summer, or the days in the summer to make the dish for the theme basically. So what Izuku is doing right now is going back to the dorm, and now hits summer. It was summer. They started to do some stuff about the crops and stuff, so that it wouldn't be any issues and stuff. So yeah, there wouldn't be any issues. And Izuku actually was minding his own business and finding and going to the forest actually. And when he got to the forest, he was surprised. And I mean, really surprised. Reason being that what he saw was a snake, a python, could say. Yes, you heard me right, a python. And the python was, let me just say this, was a little bit injured and stuff. Which, it was unconscious. And Izuku actually took it, and when nobody was looking, went to the dorms and Polar Star dormitory, and went to his room and actually lay it down on his bed. Which what happens is that Izuku went down and was wondering how could I feed the little the snake. And he said that maybe because of the snake he likes meat, because he has a little bit of expertise in meat, because if you're a chef, you would know how to prepare food and stuff, and how they grow and so on. Which Izuku actually made uh a chicken parmesan, and actually was going back to the dorm, to his room, which luckily nobody noticed. It's just that, just for plot convenience, basically. And Izuku, what he did is that he just went to his room and notices that the snake is awake now. Which, when it sees Izuku, it was going to attack, and and Izuku just didn't move. As in, he's not scared or he's not, a brave. It's just that nothing. He just doesn't move, and the python was a little bit confused and stopped its attack. And he Izuku just says that, "Why did you stop?" Which he just shrugs his shoulders, and yeah. Which, when he sits on the, let's just say, the floor, MBC grabs a chopsticks and tries to feed the snake the chicken parmesan. This the snake at first, and I really say at first, didn't want to take the food because the snake was reluctant, I guess. Yeah, reluctant of taking the food, which it's okay if it's reluctant and stuff. Which eventually the snake bites on the food, and it actually likes it, and Izuku starts feeding the snake, and Izuku tries to pet the snake, and it hisses, that basically that hiss, and Izuku just says, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you," and the snake actually listened, and actually lets Izuku pet him, pet it, I guess, yeah, pet it. Sorry for the him that I used. You're gonna be surprised on what gender the snake is. Which, yeah. Well, what happens next is that Izuku eventually finishes Izuku and the snake finishes the chicken parmesan, and Izuku was wondering, so what do I call you? The snake doesn't reply because it doesn't know really. Izuku just says, how about the name Lilith? Is that alright with you? The snake gains a smile. The snake gains a smile, and basically Izuku just says, so is it good, I guess? And the snake nods, and Izuku just says, so you're a girl then? Which, the reason you accepted the name Lilith. She, or Lilith, just nods her head. And I'm gonna make it to where Lilith is a quirked animal, so, yeah, a quirked animal. And actually starts to speak to Izuku, which Izuku was surprised on how how did she able to speak, which Izuku just asked, how are you able to speak? This Lilith explains about she's a quirked animal and stuff, and the only person that can only speak to him is Izuku, or speak to her is Izuku, which why did you trust me, to be honest? uh Lilith just says, to be honest, I don't know. You have this aura about you that makes me feel so calm and not want to hurt you. And yeah, which Izuku just says, okay then. Well then, Lilith, do you want to come with me? Lilith just nods her head and actually wraps around Izuku's waist. And actually, basically like a belt, a makeshift belt that is used as a snake. And when he got out, oh my god, he, everybody was shocked. When he go back to the field, and Katsuki, who else? Megumi, Itsuki, and a lot of the dorm members, and I mean a lot, and are pretty pretty scared and surprised that Izuku has a snake on his waist. And basically, one of them, Megumi, says that, Soma, are you alright? Izuku just says, yeah, I'm alright. Don't worry, Megumi. This is Lilith. I found her while I was in the forest, and well, she became attached to me, I guess, literally and figuratively. Lilith just bonks, I guess, the side of his side with her tail, and basically gives Izuku a stern look, that like a snake that's basically like a pouting snake, but it cannot be seen as a pouting. And Lilith just says to Izuku, "Why? Don't say that." They say that, and Izuku just says, "Okay, okay, sorry, Lilith." And basically rubs Lilith's head, and they start to working, which actually, through the days of, eventually, Izuku actually gained, let's just say, a taste tester, which is Lilith. Which Lilith actually likes Izuku's food and all. Um, she became really a good taste tester for Izuku, and actually says that how about try different meats, like exotic meats, like buffalo, um, buffalo and so on, buffalo, tiger, crocodile, alligator, and so on. Basically, different types of food, exotic food, and actually said that how about pigeons as well. Which Izuku just says pigeons, huh? Huh. The reason I can't do that is, I don't have the budget and connections yet. Yes, I have, Momo and stuff, but I will. I feel like I will use it on a rainy day. Which she just says, okay then, Izuku. Izuku just says, just call me Soma. I, it's fine with me if you call me Soma. Besides, you're like a little my little friend, my little snake, and yeah, is the snake Lilith basically just you know playfully punches Izuku's side, and basically says, "Don't say that." Which, yeah, she was blushing because this ain't the ship. Um, if I might remind you, this ain't the ship. Don't worry. Which, yeah, what happens next is that eventually the time has come to receive the theme ingredient, the theme dish, which was, drumroll please, the sorry, I can do sound effects, sorry, but the theme ingredient, or the theme dish, was curry cuisine, which Izuku just says, curry, huh? I have made curry before, but this is gonna be hard. Which, actually, comment down below which is better, Indian curry or Japanese curry. Comment down below if which is better. Which, yeah, they Izuku was wondering, and actually gain an idea, and because his dad said that there was this in his days in Polar Star, he there was this student, one of the students that said that actually were great at making curry. Izuku just says, huh, if I remember, her name was Shiome. And yeah, Shiome. Yeah, or Jun Shiome. Which Izuku just grabs Bakugo and Megumi to find Shiome. which they found a place, you could say, but it was a little bit run down, which was really surprising. Which, by the hearing the Shiome, I could think that Izuku would think that uh, the name Shiome is a girl, so Izuku just says, okay, Shiome. A female teacher, I presume. Which, yeah. They start to go into the let's just say the laboratory, or the quote unquote lab for Shiome, and says hello, excuse me, which eventually they find the Shiome seminar room, which eventually they went in and says, is anyone there? And here's grinding. And look, Izuku looks to the left, yeah, left, and saw a petite girl. And when this girl puts her head up and sees Izuku, well, let's just say that she was going to punch Izuku. And Izuku actually dodged this, and basically, oof, and basically dodges. And basically said, miss, why are you trying to punch me? Which Shiome just says, which the girl just says, or aka Shiome, she just says that, I'm Shiome, and why are you here, Joichiro? Izuku just says, Joichiro? Oh, you mean my dad? Well, sorry about that, but my dad isn't around. And he actually went overseas and stuff, and yeah, and well, the name's Izuku Midoriya, and I was looking for you actually to learn about a little bit about the Korean stuff. Which actually, let me just say this: Lilith is actually on his waist, and basically, uh, I guess June or Shiome says that and who are these people that are with you, and Snake? Oh, this is he points to Katsuki, and this he says that this is Katsuki, this is Megumin, and this is actually Lilith, which you could say a rescue, which 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 Lilith just, playfully punches Izuku's side and basically looks at him and basically says, alright, alright. One of my, I guess, friends. Which Lilith just, that, that face, and basically was play. Izuku starts to laugh a little bit, just chuckle, and says, sorry about that, but I'm not my dad, to be honest, and why do you hate him so much? I noticed when you were trying to punch me, you were really trying to knock me out. Which she explains about the time when she was in Polar Star, and basically says that she was making dishes that are disgusting. He was making dishes that are disgusting and feeding her. Izuku just says, Dad, well, sorry about that. About my dad. Wait, and you said disgusting foods, right? She just says, yeah. Huh. I never thought of it before, but... Wait. Never mind. Uh, that's for the future, I guess. To future me to decide. Which, eventually, they talk to, Jun, Jun, and actually, Jun actually sees Izuku as a different light than Joichiro, and actually agrees to teaching him about Korean stuff. Which eventually, if I remember his name, let me just check. And actually, the name was And actually, Akira Hayama, goes to the scene, I guess, or to the classroom, and actually starts to speak with, you could say, to them, and basically apologizing that of Jun's sudden behavior on Izuku. Izuku just, it's fine. It's my dad's fault, to be honest. He always makes those disgusting food. I really, that's one trait that I really hate that I got from him, to be honest. Which, I really like making food that is pleasing to the heart. Well, to say, let's just say that for now. And actually, they discussed about which Izuku compliments on how many spices they are, and there was quite a lot, to be honest. There was a lot, and I mean really a lot. And yeah, and actually comments about the, what was it? Yeah, the curry leaf, and Izuku compliments Jun of how amazing she is finding a way to mass produce, I guess. Yeah, mass produce raw curry leaves, and she starts muttering and basically discussing, and Katsuki just reminds, has an instant flashback, and says to Izuku, Soma, she reminds me of you when you were that age. uh, Izuku just, don't remind me, Kachan. I was, yeah, a court nerd. You could say a hero nerd. I know that for a fact, but still, I dialed down a bit. I don't mutter as much anymore, and yeah, which Akira actually demonstrates about the different types of curry, of to using the curry leaf and roasted spices, or pan roasted spices, and for the final one was the same dish from the start, which when Izuku smelled it, it had more of an aroma, which Izuku just, huh, okay, oh, now I know what it is. You added more water. Yeah, you added water instead of soup stock, which Akira just says, ding ding ding. Wow, nice one, Izuku. You actually quite a handle of this. Izuku just says, yeah, quite, but still, I need to learn a lot more. You, we can still improve our dishes. That's the way of being a chef. Which Izuku just says that, well, thanks for the lessons as well as the demonstration, and yeah, and Akira actually says that you can't beat me. Basically, going on a rant that you can't beat him because of his nose. Which, um, to be honest, if you didn't know about Akira in the Food Wars series, he actually has a strong nose. He can basically like an aroma factor. Which too bad, to be honest. Too bad for Akira. Izuku has all of them. Smell, sight, taste, all of it. Touch. Yeah, basic. He has perfect control. Like he has It's like that. He has Akira's smell, Irina's taste buds, the feeling of touch of his hands by like Mikomi, and his ears are a little bit enhanced, and his eyesight are clear as day. Which, yeah, that's basically it. Which now they start preparing, and basically before he left and says that, well, that's for the future to decide. Nothing is set in stone, as they say. Well, ta-ta. Which Lilith is still in his way, on his waist, and basically looks at him and a little bit worried and stuff because Lilith is a little bit concerned about Izuku about facing Akira, which Izuku just says, "It's fine, Lilith. Don't worry. Have faith in me. Besides, I haven't shown my true cooking skills yet." Which is it? It is true. Izuku hasn't shown it yet. Those what he did in the hotel, 5% of his ability. That was just 5% of his ability. If he goes all out, to be honest, like Irina, you would be surprised of what he can accomplish. Which, yeah, now start the training and preparing. Which throughout the summer, Izuku was actually testing a lot, and I mean a lot, with Kotsuki and stuff. Which Kotsuki will go on an approach, which is you're gonna be surprised of how Kotsuki is gonna do this, but you're basically they help each other of improving their dishes and stuff, which Bakugo helped Izuku a little bit, and Izuku helped Kotsuki a little bit. Which the two of them, let me just say this, the two of them, which eventually the day came that the start of the eliminations, which they got to the auditorium and yeah, and the headmaster was doing a speech, normal in canon, which when Takumi arrives with his brother Isami, well, let's just say Isami went on a change. Instead of being, his chubby self, he became his thin self, which was surprising. Which Takumi explains about when in the winter times, Isami is more on the lines chubby, and when it's summer, he is summer to spring. He is what's it called again? Thin. Yeah, thin. And yeah, from here on out, everything happens the same in canon. Like almost a lot of people, almost if not all of the people that were background characters got lower scores, and they got 8, 4, and so on. Basically, those scores that are pretty low in the anime. But when it comes to the main cast, it was like in canon, as I said. But when it comes to Bakugo, actually, he actually made an Indian style curry. A curry that actually is, let me just say, spicy. And when the judges ate it, let's just say, just pray. Just pray for their stomachs. Because what they have tasted is a lot of spices. It it all blended together, and it was so good that it can rival anything, to be honest. And it was so good. And they just say, the spices. Do you have any milk? One of the judges asked, which is no other than the head judge, Natsume Sendawara, in A block, basically. And she just wants, milk, because when Bakugo gave her is so spicy, it puts Nether to shame. Which, let's go to Izuku's perspective, or to Izuku. Izuku was making a curry that was actually pretty good. That that he taste tested with Bakugo and stuff, which actually Lilith as well, which it was kind of sad that Lilith can't able to come, and which Lilith just said to Izuku, just save me some curry, please. Which Izuku just agrees, and yeah, which Izuku hears what score did Bakugo get, and it was actually 92. No, no, 92. Yeah, 92. A 92 score, which was actually quite high. And reason being, Indian curry is, for what I've heard, I haven't actually tasted curry, but from what I heard, it was actually spicy. So the spice factor was actually pretty good, and using the tricks you learned from fighting Izuku, or should I say Soma, learned a lot about how to prep and yeah, how to prep everything that he needed. So yeah, which yeah, which um and what was it? Akira, yeah, Akira. Sorry about that. But Akira was still his, the same food that he got and or that he made, which now in Izuku just says, "Well, my preparation is done. Time to do the time to time to go all out, or should I say, time to release the demon." Which Izuku grabs his I guess his bandana from his wrist and actually puts this on his head. And the let's say the pressure from the environment change. It became like the nether. I can't say HE double hockey sticks, okay, or HE double toothpicks, but it became the nether. The pressure of it was so, and I mean so, I can't say. It was so frightening, which all of the judges looked at Izuku's booth, which they see a different person. They don't see, Izuku, as in like Izuku Midoriya. They see the devil. Yeah, the devil, the demon, should I say. But he was, they were all surprised about this, and really, really was, to be honest. Which, yeah. Which one of the judges commented that the pressure is the pressure is so intense. It's like you're in purgatory or something. Which one of the judges agreed, and um, Natsui or not yeah Natsui or Judge Natsui was shocked the presence of Izuku. No, of the presence of Izuku, and all of the students are looking at Izuku, which they were scared and terrified for good reason, to be honest. Which, when it came to judging his curry, well, it was like in canon, but Izuku used a special ingredient. No, nothing special, to be honest. He just improved the flavor, like using the god tongue. No, using the devil's tongue. Yeah, the devil's tongue. Um, Using that as a way to enhance his cooking. He, with the refined techniques, he actually improved what was in canon to beat Akira, which Akira was on the first place, by the way, and I forgot that who was it? Um, Bakugo was in third place. Third place, okay. Which yeah, now is which they which when the judges eat Izuku's curry, they experience what they experience is a euphoria, or like they were going to they were going to the sky, then falling to the nether, like immediately. It's like when in Monterio on the for Lil Nas X, but it's like that. It was so, the flavor was so it was going up, then it went down, then up again, the intensity. And actually, Izuku got the highest place, and actually gave, Akira a portion just to be kind and just a little bit brag, to be honest. Which Izuku says to his dad he got into fall selection, the fall selection, and which his dad was very proud of him. To be honest, he was very very proud. Which yeah, which when he went back to the dorm, Lilith was actually waiting for Izuku, which Lilith just says that, where's my food? Basically, where's my food? Which Izuku just says, here it is, Lilith, don't worry. I didn't forget. Which Lilith just says, thank you, Izuku. And Izuku starts feeding Lilith, actually. And what she felt is the same as the judges. It's like it's like the same in the judges and stuff. And yeah, and everybody congratulated Izuku and stuff for achieving such a high and I mean high regard, and actually beating Akira and stuff. Which Izuku thanked everyone, especially Katsuki, and he was proud of Katsuki in saying that, Kachan, you did great, and he was very proud of Katsuki, obviously. And yeah, and that's it for season 1 of Food Wars. And I really hope you enjoy this series. I really hope you enjoy this series and stuff. This is the end of season 1 in Food Wars. So on the next episode is gonna be on the next part is gonna be season 2 of Food Wars. And I'm really sorry if it's a little bit rushed, to be honest. Which reason being that a lot of the characters are in the series in this in season 1 is far better to explain to hear from the anime itself. Just I just recommend watching the anime so that you would know what it is. But yeah, I'm really thankful for all of you guys, and I'm really sorry that this was long overdue. But like I always say, like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys later. Bye!